Oh, good evening. I have seen probably every face here in town.
You are, Sue? What's your name?
My name is Thornton Sully.
Okay.
I am Moscow's other publisher. And I want to talk a bit about immigration. I'm an immigrant. I envy all of you for having spent a good part of your life here. I immigrated from California about 2 years ago. And I have never felt more welcome in a place than I have here. I'm still amazed when I reach a crosswalk that cars actually stop. Anyway, I have some things to bring to this community, and I want to tell you in particular what I have planned and what I would love your endorsement for this coming November. As a publisher, I'm very, very lucky to meet people more talented than I am. And 3 of them are all players on the world stage. And because of my professional relationship with them and a long-time friendship, in November, for a period of a week, I'm bringing to the Palouse Pulitzer Prize winner Jonathan Friedman, best-selling author and activist Victor Villaseñor, and a man who recently was awarded the Isabel Allende Prize for Best Fiction about a Vietnam, with a Vietnam novel, Fred Rivera. And let me tell you just briefly about each of them and what you can expect when they get here. Jonathan won his Pulitzer Prize for a series of articles that he composed over a period of years on the plight of our neighbors to the south coming into our country to improve the quality of their lives. And in his citation, as a result of what he had done, about 2 million people came out of the shadows. It changed legislation. His current project is to interview the kids who've been coming in from South America and have been detained in Texas and what their stories are. And by the way, it's not a pretty story. But Jonathan is going to be speaking here, made available to speak. My friend Victor Villaseñor, who I've known 30 years, wrote about his family coming up from Mexico after the revolution and settling in Oceanside. Victor is a phenomenal speaker. He has, before the economy tanked, it would not be unusual for him to get 10 grand for a single speaking engagement. He was dyslexic. He told me once, it's a good thing that I got good at writing because the only other thing I was good at was guns. And it changed his life, and he inspires huge populations. I saw him in June in California. What he's most interested in doing is talking to the Nez Perce and tribe of the Coeur d'Alene. And also, he would like to be able to speak to high school students even more than those who are in the university, because he believes that they're more receptive to things that he would have to say. My friend Fred Rivera wrote a book which I published called Raw Man, and the title comes from the epiphany he had. Vietnam ruined him. He got out of Vietnam a coke addict, alcoholic. He was blown off his track. Agent Orange ruined his physiology. Agent Orange destroys the cartilage in your joints. 8 surgeries and a life of pain. And, oh, let's throw in PTSD. But he overcame all of that to write this book. And he gets the title from this epiphany he had. He was in the VA hospital visiting his own dad, who was a World War II vet. His dad was filling out the crossword puzzle. So Fred is sitting at the foot of the bed, and he sees this puzzle being filled in, and his dad's thinking, a 3-letter word for armed conflict. And he starts filling it in. And then suddenly the light went on, and Fred said, 27 years after I got on the flight home, I saw that Nam War was just raw man spelled backwards, and I'm pretty raw today. So my point is that I'm bringing these people up here. I've been putting together a program to raise the money to do it. I've been very, very fortunate. The good folks who own the Meadowwinds Bed and Breakfast have agreed to put them up for the week that they're here. So that's great. I mean, that's a couple of $1,000 in the coffer. I started as a repository. I started a GoFundMe campaign, which I haven't really pursued just yet. And I'm pursuing private individuals. I've been in contact with our university and the ones on the other side of the divide about
There is no divide here. It's a recluse.
And there are so many people who are so anxious to have them up. And my position is to try to coordinate the efforts to get the funds to do it. By the way, I'm getting them at a bargain. As I said, Victor has gotten as much as 10 grand. And I'm getting the 4 of them up here for a week with multiple venues for that price. So that's an arbitrary figure, but I feel if I offer them that amount of money, because of our relationship as friends, publishing, and drinking buddies, they'll be up here. And my God, what a coup for Moscow to have people so influential on the world stage here. So basically, I just wanted to introduce everybody to the idea that they're coming up. They'll be available to speak to different schools, which I'll be pursuing. If teachers have a desire to have these people speak in their classroom, I will work out a schedule for it. I would be delighted if this has an official endorsement of sorts from the City Council. And when these guys, show up here, they should be shaking hands with the City Council, which is working for the. I know that Moscow is trying to rework the heart of the arts thing and how we identify ourselves as a city. By the way, it seems bizarre to me to say we. I really have felt that you've all made me feel a part of the city. But how we define ourselves, we are people who can bring in world-class talent here. And anything that you folks can do to help, I would be so grateful. And I think the citizens of Moscow would too. Anyway, that's my spiel. And I have, I had no idea how many people were even on the City Council. But I do have a synopsis of these people's stories. And I would like, if I may, I can give
Sure,
them
either
these
that,
to
you
each of
could
you.
bring them over here to the, I don't care, if you want to give them to the desk over here.
Sure.
So that we can continue
And
our
then at
business.
some point, if somebody can show me the protocols, I'd like to hit you guys up for some money.
One thing that would help, usually we have a reporter here, and I don't know where she's at tonight. She's not here, but she's here. Yeah, we usually have some kind of a reporter, and it would have been nice, Mr. Sully, for one of them to be here so they could have interviewed after this, so you could have discussed them and they'd get in the newspaper. But that is one alternative I would suggest for you to get in front of the Daily News.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And actually, as a publisher and editor, I got the publicity thing down. What I want, though, is how cool would it be if they come here and there's a proclamation that, we have got these people here this week, that we could publicize that a bit too. The papers already have an article coming out on it. So we're very, very fortunate. There's just not a downside to them coming. And we're going to stir up some stuff. What greater topic is there on people's mind than immigration these days? And there's no one more authoritative than these 3 people coming up to talk about it.
Okay,
So that's my spiel. And
thank you very much. Just take it right over here and give it to Gary.
And
he'll
thank you
take-
so much
You're very
for
welcome.
all of you for making Moscow such a welcoming place to live.
You're very welcome.